What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look because the new Transformers set has been officially revealed over by the lovely folks over at IGN.com. Now, it's War for Cybertron Siege 2. We knew it was going to be War for Cybertron Siege 2. That's not particularly newsworthy or impressive. But now we know what the booster pack looks like. It's got Megatron on. I'm pretty sure that's Megatron. If it's not Megatron, I'm sorry. He's sitting on a throne. I mean, look, you had Optimus Prime on War for Cybertron Siege 1, so it made sense that we would have it here as well. War for Cybertron Siege 2, yeah, fine, cool, etc. What else do we know about it? How about this lovely artwork? It's just a bigger version of it. It's beautiful. But also, we have a release date. We have a release date of the 9th of November. Now, it does say in US and certain other regions. By now, we know what that means. The UK is getting it on the 9th. Canada is not getting it on the 9th. Basically, if you've got the other couple of sets on the release date, especially Waves 2 and 3, you're getting this on the 9th. And if you had to wait a little bit, you'll have to wait a little bit here as well. I'm sorry, that's just the way it goes. It's a bit annoying, but hey-ho, you can't have it all. Now, in terms of War for Cybertron Siege 2, that's all we know. We've got the booster pack image, and we know it's coming out on November the 9th. Oh, sorry, there is one more thing. They've actually got a box topper. If you buy a full booster box of this set, you get Trypticon and his homeboys. Trypticon is basically the Decepticon answer to Metroplex. And if you want Trypticon, it's very simple. You buy yourself a booster box of War for Cybertron Siege 2, and in it you get a pack with Trypticon and then the, well, regular character card sized anyway, Brunt, Full Tilt, and Wipeout. Very much like Metroplex. Although whereas for Metroplex, you had to go and buy yourself a separate standalone deck to get it, here you have to buy a box. And I know some people are going to love this and some people are going to hate it. The bonus here is that a lot of people are going to buy boxes anyway, so you essentially get it for free. The downside is that if you weren't planning on buying a box anyway, you've now got to go and buy a box to get this, which is significantly more expensive than just going out and getting yourself a standalone deck. It is as it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's going on. So I suppose at this stage we should probably have a little bit of a look at Trypticon, see what he actually does. Oh, sorry, as a quick side note, and you probably could have known this anyway, just like with War for Cybertron Siege 1, the booster packs will feature a large character card, a small character card, and 6 battle cards. Again, that shouldn't necessarily surprise you all that much, but it's nice to have the confirmation. So, with all of that out of the way then, let's have a look at Trypticon. So Trypticon is a Titan-sized character. It is also a Titan. More on that in a moment. So it is going to be the same size as Metroplex and Omega Supreme. So if you have bought yourself a pack of sleeves and top loaders, they are slowly getting filled. The stats here are humongous, as you might expect them to be. Attack of 6, health of 30, defense of 1. Incidentally, that makes it objectively worse stats-wise than Metroplex, because you've got the same attack, same defense, but 5 fewer health. In alt mode, you go up to 2 defense, but down to 4 attack, which makes it exactly the same as Metroplex, but with 5 less health. What is very interesting, Trypticon is only a 24-star character. Now that doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but it means that you can add a single solitary star card into your deck in a way that Metroplex just can't. So maybe you add yourself in a Leap of Faith to play a couple of extra cards, or a Bolt of Lightning to do a little bit of extra damage. Either way, you've got a single solitary extra star to play with. Little bit weird, but not necessarily unwelcome. Now, if we start off with alt mode here, because that really is the most important, you start the game with 3 characters under it, full tilt base recon, wipeout devoted minion, and Brunt artillery drone. It's exactly the same as the regular Metroplex alt mode. You start with 3 characters under it. What's really weird is that in alt mode, Metroplex says, when you flip to this mode, deploy a character from under this to the battlefield. Whereas Trypticon says, each of your characters has bold 1, meaning that you flip 1 more battle card while attacking. Trypticon himself does not get bold 1, but every other character you've got on the field has bold 1. Now, assuming we play with the standard rules, you're allowed a 25-star deck. There is no 1-star character, so you're basically talking full tilt, wipeout, and Brunt, if they're on the field, have bold 1. If we have a look at bot mode, when you flip to this mode, you may KO one of your other characters. If you do, you either get +3 attack until end of turn, or you repair 3 damage from Trypticon. Okay, that's kind of cool. But hang on a second. Nothing in either of these modes actually refers to deploying characters. So we need to stop for a moment and have a quick look at Battlefield Incursion. It is an action card with a green icon, which is absolutely crucial, that reads, deploy a character from under your Trypticon assault base to the battlefield. Metroplex deploys the characters by flipping between modes. Trypticon doesn't. As it stands at the moment, and we never know if we're going to get something else in the future, but as it stands at the moment, with the information we've got and the cards that we've seen revealed, the only way to deploy one of these characters from under Trypticon is to play Battlefield Incursion, which is why it has to have a green icon. Green icon, if you flip the card while attacking or defending at the end of the battle, you may swap a card in your hand for 1 green icon card that you flipped over. You can only do it once per battle, so cross your fingers that you don't flip 2 of these in one battle, or else you can only get 1 of them back. It's got to have a green icon because otherwise it would be excessively hard to actually find, and if you couldn't find it, you couldn't deploy the characters, and Trypticon would be essentially unplayable garbage. It does mean that a Trypticon deck is all but forced to play free Battlefield Incursion, which has no other battle icons other than green, so when you flip it, it's not helping you attack or defend, which disappoints me a little bit. It's nice to have a mechanic different from Metroplex. That I like quite a bit. What I'm not liking quite so much is the fact that I've basically got to play 3 of these and wait till I flip them while battling. And if you flip more than 1 of these while you're battling, you've got to wait until you shuffle your scrap pile to become your deck, and then flip it again, or one of the other ones that you flipped. And of course, it's using your only action for the turn. Yes, of course, you can play Brainstorm to play another, but Brainstorm doesn't just always automatically work perfectly. Fact of the matter is, it's much harder to deploy these than it is going to be to deploy the boys from under Metroplex. So let's go back to this bot mode of Trypticon then. When you flip to this mode, you may KO one of your other characters, give you +3 attack, or repair 3 damage. That's brilliant. That's a really good skill. Healing 3 is just flat out great. Medic heals 2, and it's so good that it doesn't have a battle icon. Healing 3 is great, or repairing 3 if we're going to use the language that the Transformers TCG actually uses. And +3 attack is pretty gosh darn good. It's a free leap into battle, so to speak. That's an action card that gives you +3 attack. So either you get a free leap into battle or you get a free better medic. It does interest me that medic gives you +2 and doesn't have a battle icon. Leap into faith gives you +3 and does have a battle icon. I would expect you to be getting, say, +4 or +5 attack. If we compare to the relative action cards, then the healing here is better than the attacking. But put it simply, +3 attack is great, healing 3 is great, that gives you a huge advantage. Is it better than Metroplex's ability? No. Metroplex lets you do 1 damage to each of your opponent's enemy and tap each of your opponent's characters. Your opponent's characters or your enemy, not both. Your opponent's enemy is you. Don't tap them. That would be bad. But Metroplex's skill is super hard to pull off because you need to flip 2 white, 2 orange, and 2 blue icons. Trypticon, you just need to KO one of your other characters. Yeah, is this a good time to mention I Still Function? Because what you can do here beautifully is play I Still Function, bring one of your characters back from the KO area, and then just KO them with this skill, and then you just get the +3 attack or the healing free. It's brilliant. Though I will say you're already playing free of this new card that doesn't have any icon but green, the Battlefield Incursion. Do you really want to play free I Still Function with no battle icons as well? 6 cards with no orange, no blue, no white, no black, etc. Not sure how much I'm loving that. Now, it is a Titan, which means it is the second character ever to actually be able to use Height Advantage. Height Advantage is a lovely card that thankfully does have an icon, blue icon. One of your Titans gets bold 4 until end of turn. It's only available in the Metroplex deck, but now it can actually be used on another character. It's also a melee character, meaning you can use Power Sword to give yourself bold free, or body armor to give yourself tough free, if that's what you're into. In alt mode, it's actually a Titan or a ranged character, so you then get access to things like armed hovercraft and marksmanship if you're in the mood for a little bit of extra cheeky damage. Just, something to bear in mind there. So that's Trypticon then, but we can't really talk Trypticon without also talking about his little friends. Now, we've got Brunt here, and Brunt is the equivalent of Slammer. It doesn't have a bot mode, it only has an alt mode. It's also a 4-star character. It's also got free attack, free health, free defense. It is also a tank and a ranged character. Do you see what's going on here? It's really similar to Slammer. Incidentally, it's also another 4-star tank if you want to go super wide on tanks. Just an idea. Now, it does have a skill here, Revenge. Scrap an enemy weapon or armor if you have Trypticon on the field. Oh look, it's a new keyword skill. We've not seen a new keyword skill, Revenge, before. You use it when a character is KO'd. Yes, if you play I Still Function, at the end of your turn it will be KO'd, and yes, the Revenge keyword skill will come out. That's not been officially confirmed, but come on. We've seen enough rulings that we know that this is the way it's going to work. So Revenge is a great new keyword skill. When you get KO'd, you get a lovely little bonus. Now, it's only scrapping a weapon or armor. It is not actually allowing you to get rid of a utility here, which is weird because in Wave 3 we had Dismantle that did the same thing, though it had a black icon, and black icon cards are usually a little bit worse. Either way though, ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of cool. It's a decent little skill. It's not the best card ever, but it's only taking up 4 stars. No, it does not count in your 24 stars for Trypticon, because Trypticon forces you to start with it under. Good news is you are a ranged character, just like Trypticon in alt mode, and you are a tank, but there is absolutely no way you're going to want to play anything like Hunger Down here. To put it simply, there are no other tanks in this deck. And there is absolutely no way you're going to play tank cards just for Brunt. Full Tilt. Full Tilt is another one of these. Now it is a 4-star character again, so we're expecting bad stats and we're not disappointed. 2 attack, 5 health, 1 defense in bot mode, and exactly the same in alt mode. And it's also got revenge skills. In bot mode, when it is KO'd, you do 2 damage to an enemy if you've got Trypticon on the battlefield. So you get a free plasma burst just so long as you've got Trypticon on the battlefield. If Trypticon's already gone down, then Full Tilt going down gives you nothing. In alt mode, when it gets KO'd, you do 1 damage to an enemy if you've got Trypticon on the battlefield. So we're downgrading from Plasma Burst to a Zap, or a Heavy Landing if you prefer. So, not quite so good, if I'm honest with you. And one thing that's kind of cool about Full Tilt, in bot mode you're a range character, so you get your armed hovercraft, marksmanship, etc. And in alt mode you're a melee character, giving you body armor and power sword. What's really cool here is that it's got the same ones as Trypticon, so you can actually go about here being ranged or melee, and you're going to have multiple characters that you're able to use. And it is a car in alt mode. Car's quite nice. Car's got a bunch of untapping stuff. You've got stuff like turbo boosters, which is a lovely little upgrade. Gives you +1 attack, can only be put on cars, and when you put it on a character, you untap that character. Or maybe you want Start Your Engines, which is an action that flips each of your characters from bot mode to car mode, and then untaps one of your cars. And finally, we've got Wipeout. Wipeout, it's got free attack, which is alright. I mean, look, it's a 4-star character. Free attack is pretty nice. 6 health is not good, but for a 4-star character is pretty good. 0 defense. 0 defense, 6 health is not ideal, ladies and gentlemen. Unlikely to stay around for terribly long. And once again, it's got a pair of skills, and once again, it is twice as good in bot mode. In bot mode, when you get KO'd, you draw 2 cards if you have Trypticon on the battlefield. It's basically a pep talk. But in alt mode, when you get KO'd, you draw 1 card if you have Trypticon on the battlefield. So all 3 of these little characters, they all have only revenge skills, and they all work only if you've got Trypticon on the battlefield. As soon as Trypticon goes down, they all become vanilla characters. Okay, but you've still got some nice draw power here. And again, I Still Function is so good here because you can bring it back, use it for a turn, and then you get the revenge skill. Or you use Trypticon in bot mode and you give yourself plus free attack or repair free damage. Either way, you win. It is worth pointing out here that Wipeout is ranged in either mode, which means all the characters are ranged in at least one mode, and we do have... Melee's not quite so good. Full Tilt is melee in alt mode, Trypticon is melee in bot mode, so not quite as much melee here, but you could go a bit melee if you were so inclined. I mean, look, if nothing else, this is literally free when you buy a booster box. That alone is absolutely wonderful. Is it going to be as good as Metroplex, which has proven to be competitively viable? I'm slightly unsure at the moment. My inkling is it doesn't look quite as good as Metroplex. It is slightly more adaptable. Metroplex is bold or go home, whereas Trypticon, he's got a bit more to him, but the fact that they're all revenge skills, you've got a bit less health, and they're really awkward to deploy, does give me pause for thought. But also, if you're not excited about this, how have you watched almost 19 minutes of a Transformers TCG video? Come on. This is so much fun. We don't know too much about Wave 4, but you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I've told you what we know now, and the second we get more information, I will be running to my computer to show it to you. I'm nice like that. For now, tell me how hyped you are about this. Tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about a whole bunch of games, like Transformers and others. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.